Dreaming, dreaming.
When my eyes close, I feel like I see everything clearly. And I just let my mind go to a place where nothing else matters in the world at all. And I just dream, and I just dream, and I just dream. Yeah, I just dream.
1 year
7 classes each semester.
for 3 semesters.
This is the journey
To our dream.
So basically I started Parlé. It started because when I was in high school I started a publication. That's really the story. When I was in high school I started my own high school newspaper because I didn't like the school newspaper at the time. I wrote a story. It was actually about Ja Rule and Murder Inc. And when I got the story back, it wasn't what I wrote. The teachers had, did whatever they did, edited, all that. So, I started my own high school newspaper with a friend of mine, and it was actually 2 friends of mine. My boy Nixon, and the other lady was called the Female Voice. It was called the Wingate Voice. I went to Wingate High School in Brooklyn, as y'all saw a couple of episodes back. And this is what it looked like. It was most issues were 4 pages, and we actually got permission from the Boondocks to put the Boondocks in, not from the Boondocks themselves, their company, Universal Print. So everything was with permission, and we had sections. We had the breaking news section, we had the what's good, what's really good. On the back, we had something called 16 Bars, and it was basically a battle between 2 students, like their rap battles. So I basically did, a nice little, we created a nice little publication. And when I graduated, I wanted to be able to continue it, but the principal wasn't having it. I put out 2 issues the following year, but he ended up telling the advisor that he couldn't be the advisor anymore. He told the students that they couldn't take part anymore. He didn't like the publication from the beginning because we were going against the other publication, and we became the more popular of the 2. So after I learned that we wouldn't be able to do it anymore, I decided I still wanted to do this, even if it was going to be on a bigger level. It was somewhat to prove a point to the school, and then somewhat just because I enjoyed it so much. We put out 10 issues that first year, and I really just want to keep having that type of fun and keep that joy going. So by this time it was just me though. Both of the partners had gotten to school, and they were away at school. So I was sitting in class. I was still in the city. I was at John Jay, and while I was sitting in my English class, I would decide I was going to create the concept for my own publication. And basically I actually did it in this book right here. You can still see it. I was trying to figure out the name. At this point, I had already done what was on this page. Basically, here I have my name options, which were, Parlé, Heights Publications, New Heights Magazine, because I was from Crown Heights, so it was either going to be Heights or Parlé. Parlé because of the voice. I really wanted to continue the voice, but New York has the Village Voice, and I didn't want to end up getting sued. I was in school for legal studies, so I knew what I could and what I couldn't do. I definitely didn't have the money to handle that. So I ended up going with Parlé. Obviously the decision was quick because I already had the name ready to go over there. Over here I figured out my logo, or what I wanted the logo to look like. I didn't end up going with that because I couldn't draw, and I really didn't know much about designing software or anything like that. So if I couldn't do it manually or with Microsoft Word, it wasn't going to get done. And this book, it remained my book of contacts. I use this, like all this paper is potential advertising companies, people that I hope would advertise. All the pages are filled with potential contacts, industry execs. I even wrote some articles in here. So I keep it now. I had to retire it. If you can see the tape, it's all taped up and it's beaten down. It gave me like 3-4 good years. So, you know, that was that. My first issue came out the next month, May 2004, and it really didn't take much. I knew what I wanted to do, and I made it happen very quickly. And this is what the first issue ended up looking like. I was able to put this out with the help of my girlfriend at the time. She put it on her credit card. She put some of it on her credit card. So if you look closer, you can even see that I didn't know anything about design software. So it was really done through the copy and paste method. You know, I pretty much cut everything and piece it together. So, like, even on these things, if you look closer, you can see the tape. Like, I really would cut out the line and then tape it on. You know, the picture I had, printed the picture out, printed the top logo out. Everything else was pretty much cut on to make it look like a magazine cover. And that's how the whole issue is. And even when you get to the back, I kept the 16 bars thing going. You know, I really was just trying to duplicate the Wingate voice as much as possible. But 16 bars, I think this was the only issue I actually put in, just because it became too hard to do. And it was freestyle or rap battles can get vulgar. I wasn't really trying to come off extra vulgar. It was a real simple layout, same concept as the Wingate voice pretty much. And I really just wanted to be an urban entertainment publication that was as good as the XXL, as good as the Source, as good as Essence, Ebony, but really combine all those things into one. And that's partly what I was doing in high school, but this was just on a bigger level, and it was I expected to hit quick. It was going to be like hotcakes, but it didn't work out that way. Like I said, this is how we did it. We would cut and paste the issue on. I keep saying we, but it was really just me at the time. I would cut and paste onto this sheet. They gave me this sheet. The printer gave me this sheet, and I knew I had 14 inches to cover, so I would cut it onto this. This was the 5th issue, I believe. By now, I figured out what Photoshop was. So even though the designs weren't like extra great, you know, I would piece these things together with, I will say the designs were with help of some other people at the time. I pasted right onto something like this and we'd get it going. Sent it to the printer. It was still black and white. You know, I was still grinding for real at the time. And then by issue 8, which is up here, issue 8, we finally got some color. Finally got a little money in the budget, you know, to do that. Basically, all these issues are up here because they have some sort of importance. So, Remy Ma, you know, she was the first female cover I had. Over there, Mario and Marcus Houston, they're both autographed. Mario was just a cool guy. Marcus Houston, I love his music. Over here, actually this is Lil Wayne and Lloyd Banks. This was the front and that was the back. And basically this was the first time I went for the magazine look like this. And it actually hurt the pockets a whole lot. The inside was still black and white, even though the front was colored. This size, like, just because of this size, it ends up costing a lot of money. And after I put out this issue, I put this out in November 2006. My next issue didn't come out for 8 months because my pockets were so hurt. And actually the next one was this one right here. I tried to come back with a bang. Tyrese and Lloyd Banks. It's actually the same issue, even though Tyrese is smaller. I just like the Tyrese one so much. So we went to that look. After a while, we went to that look, which is the J. Holly. And it's, again, I wanted this size, so I ended up getting the printer to do the newsprint this size, but he still had to print on the same size as the Birdmans and all those other issues. Then they had to cut it. So they would charge me regular price for whatever the issue was, and they would cut it. At this point, I was doing, this is 80 pages. So I was doing 80 pages of Parlé, and that's really what I was going for and what I still, in my heart, want to do. And out of the 80 pages, 75 were stories. Like, I wanted to create stories. I had a lot of help with these issues. I had a great team of writers, designers. I still have a great team of writers and designers, but finances got tighter than ever. Eventually we went to this look, which is the latest look. It's not quite the size I want it to be, but it's glossy, it's fully colored. And this one was the first one. It was an author. We've done a lot of authors. We do an annual book issue. This is Relentless Aaron. He was actually signed to G Unit Books. He was the second annual. Terry Woods, she was third annual. She's true to the game. She's one of the biggest urban fiction authors. Every year I try to go really big with the urban fiction issue. This is Evie Woods, great person, great author. She has a bunch of books under her belt. So we did her, and we finally got to this look. Glossy, it looks good, and we've done, since this, we've done Birdman, R. Kelly, B.O.B., Candy and Nene from Housewives of Atlanta, and all those are interviews. Every single one of those were actual interviews. R. Kelly, Birdman was actually in Miami. I'll always remember that. So, you know, that's Parlé. That's the grind. That's where I've been at, and got the full breakdown of how I do it, how I started, and there'll be a lot more to come, hopefully.
When my eyes close, I feel like I see everything clearly. And I just let my mind go to a place where nothing else matters in the world at all. And I just dream